Alright guys, so the following is a Kip Up or a Kick Up tutorial, whichever you prefer. Basically it's become a very popular movement in hip hop dancing and martial arts alike. And just generally, if you get knocked down, you just want to pop straight back onto your feet, it can be very helpful. So first of all, I'll give you an example of the movement, then afterwards I'll break it down for you in a few simple steps and hopefully show you guys where you've been going wrong in the past. Alright, so the first common problem that a lot of people have when learning this move is actually that of fear. And it's also the most simple to get rid of. So basically, you can get rid of fear by just practicing on a soft surface, be it a mattress or a gymnastics mat, anything you can get your hands on, even soft grass. Just try your very hardest to avoid harder grounds, concrete especially. Your kitchen floor isn't a great idea either. Because what all that's going to do basically is make you more fearful of going into the movement, and it's going to lead you to not fully committing yourself. And what that does is just makes you more likely to fall straight onto your spine. And of course, it also means that when you do fall, you're going to hurt yourself a lot more than if you fall on a softer surface. So realistically, when you are first learning this move, I would definitely recommend just opting for the softer surface first. Alright, so the second problem a lot of people face when learning the Kip Up is actually their arms, or lack of usage of their arms. Now, one of the most common problems that people make is that when they're trying to do the Kip Up, they opt for the all legs Kip Up, or the Wushu Kip Up / Shawn Michaels Kip Up. Now, this Kip Up is by all means doable, but it's a lot more difficult, and I'd say it's a lot more well suited to after you've learned the original or the more basic Kip Up. So I'll give you a few examples of exercises you can use just to encourage the usage of your arms. Then afterwards you can practice them yourselves just a few times a day, will probably do the trick. And hopefully it'll encourage you just to get your arms more into the movement and produce a lot more power when you're going for the Kip Up and get you onto your feet. Okay, so the first exercise I'm going to show you is the bridge position. It's a relatively simple movement and I'm sure most of you know it, but if a few of you don't, I'll just give you a quick example of what the movement is, and then afterwards you can try it for yourself. So it's like this. Like I said, relatively simple, and most of you should be able to do it, but if some of you can't quite manage it, it's probably because you have low back flexibility. Now, one of the ways you can overcome this problem is just through having quite a basic bridge to start off with, something with your arms quite far out, and just gradually building up that back flexibility through walking your hands inwards and gradually building up a stronger bridge. Now, this move isn't essential towards getting your Kip Up right. There are a lot of people who can't do a bridge but can do a Kip Up. But what the bridge does do is it gives you a good example of the kind of position you're going to be pushing yourself into once you get in mid-air. So it's quite good in the sense that you get a good idea of the pattern of motion you're going to be following once you're in the air. So the second exercise I'm going to show you ties in a lot with the first, and what this does is basically it clarifies what I was trying to make a point of in the last exercise, which is the idea of using your arms in your Kip Up. So what this is, it's basically a Kip Up into the bridge position, and it helps you getting used to the idea of using your arms and your legs simultaneously to land into some form of actual landing position as opposed to onto your spine like most of you are probably accustomed to. So fingers crossed this can help you progress nicely, I guess, into your Kip Up, and can get you used to that motion and of course using your arms more consistently, which I'm sure may have been an issue for a lot of you. So I'll give you an example now just to clarify with regards to what I am actually talking about, and then you can try it for yourselves. So yeah. So step 3 on my list of common mistakes that a lot of people make when learning the Kip Up is probably leg usage. Now of course I did make the point that a lot of people do overuse their legs in comparison to their arms, and I stand by that, but a lot of people have this problem with kicking forwards instead of upwards. Now, one of the most essential parts of actually getting your Kip Up right is ensuring that you get as much hang time as possible. And realistically, if you're going to kick forwards, then you're just going to end up skidding along the ground and you're not really going to get anywhere. So I really do recommend that when you do video yourself or get a friend of yours to look at you doing Kip Up, just try and ensure that you have been getting those hips into the air and kicking straight upwards. If you haven't been, and that's become a consistent problem for you, then one way you can try and remedy that is just by doing a few of these, which are just rolls, backward rolls, and just straight kicks into the air, just to get used to the idea of kicking upwards as opposed to outwards. So just like this, really. It's quite simple. And hopefully just doing that a few times a day should get you used to the idea of kicking upwards rather than outwards, and should hopefully help you just get that little bit of extra height you may have been needing to land onto your feet. Alright guys, so that pretty much concludes this Kip Up tutorial. Thanks for watching. Just comment, rate, subscribe and all that good stuff. Before I finish up this video, I would like to show you guys a few more examples of ways you can use the Kip Up, and just get a few more camera angles on it, just in case you guys have been unsure about a few technique points. If you are unsure about a few things or you want me to clarify, don't be afraid to comment and just ask me one or two things about the move. I'd be happy to help. And yeah, if you haven't been getting it yet, just keep practicing. I'm sure you'll get it eventually. It can sometimes take a while, but I'm sure you'll get there in the end. So yeah, again, thanks for watching and peace out.